It is a very good day. It is a very good day. It is the first time that we have someone, an ICC suspect, surrendering to the court. And it's a good day for the victims. I think they can look forward to justice taking its course at the ICC. Those victims who are alleged to have suffered in the hands of Bosco Ntaganda, I think today is their day.
We have a question from Joe Corcoran on Twitter. He asks, will the trial of the Terminator, as Bosco Ntaganda is known, reduce violence in the DRC? Or, he asks, will one suspected war criminal simply be replaced by another?
I think the impact of this is huge. The fact that a suspect wanted by the ICC, who is alleged to have been committing war crimes, has decided by himself to voluntarily surrender to the ICC shows that ICC is doing what it is set up, what it has been set up to do, and that is justice. And I think others should learn from this as well. They should learn from this, and also to know that ultimately those who continue to commit these crimes, this is the place they will end up.
Mac Otani in Nairobi asks, and this is throwing ahead, I suppose, to any potential trial of Bosco Ntaganda. The witnesses, potential witnesses in the DRC, Mac Otani in Nairobi asks, how foolproof is the ICC's witness protection program? And he's asking from Nairobi, so I suppose in his mind he's thinking about what has been happening with the Kenya cases.
Of course, there is a limitation to what I can discuss regarding witness protection. But I just want to say that this is a priority for me, for my office, to ensure that witnesses are fully protected and that they have the confidence to still want to come forward to testify in our cases. We're working very, very closely with the Victims and Witnesses Unit to ensure that the protection that is needed for any particular witness is given. And we will continue to do that, ensure that these witnesses are protected and that they would still want to come forward and give evidence in our cases.
Do you worry about the impact it will have when potential witnesses see you stand up in court and say, some of our witnesses have died, awful things, you say, as the prosecutor, have happened to witnesses in Kenya? Do you worry now about the impact that that will have on future witnesses? And what can you do to reassure people that if they do have evidence that could bring these suspected war criminals to justice, what can you say to reassure them that they'll be safe if they do come forward?
I want to say that we have been working very, very hard and very long to ensure that there is full protection for our witnesses. I think witnesses should still feel comfortable, should still feel confident that we will continue to do that. As I said, this is a priority for my office to ensure that witnesses are fully protected. What we have said in court has happened in one particular case, and we are not saying that because of that witnesses should be afraid to come forward. We will do what we can. We will continue to make it a priority, and we will ensure that those who are on our list are still fully protected.
Okay. Philip Kwenya on Facebook, on the BBC Africa Facebook page, makes a statement which is quite complimentary about the ICC. He says Fatou Bensouda should be allowed to get on with her job without questions about the legitimacy of the ICC. Strong men, he says, have been acting with impunity for years. The ICC is a court of last resort to millions of sufferers. One of the biggest questions we have had from our audience is why just Africa? 30 indictees so far, 8 countries where investigations are ongoing, including Mali. Why have only African suspects been indicted by the ICC?
As you know, this is a question that I get asked all the time. And I always say that we need to look at what Africa is doing right now in terms of engaging the ICC. ICC, yes, is responding to Africa's call, but we need to look at how Africa is taking leadership in international criminal justice. And I will explain this. All of the referrals that we have had to investigate and prosecute comes from Africa. The first three is Democratic Republic of Congo. And maybe I need to explain this clearly, that the referrals is basically these countries requesting the ICC to intervene. It is coming from these countries, requesting that ICC should come in to investigate and prosecute these crimes. But also, we cannot deny that these crimes that are within the competence of the ICC have been committed in all these situations. Uganda, Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, all requested ICC. As recent as last year, Mali also requested the intervention of the ICC. The Côte d'Ivoire, which has just joined the ICC, signed and ratified the Rome Statute, also, even when it was not a state party, requested the ICC's intervention. So we need to look at the call that is coming from Africa to address these serious crimes. And we also need to think of the victims of these crimes. I keep emphasizing that. The victims of these crimes are African victims. We talk about ICC targeting Africa only in terms of the perpetrators, those who have been alleged to have committed these crimes. If we are thinking of how to protect them, to get away from these crimes, then we will say that ICC is targeting Africa. But if we are thinking that the victims of these crimes deserve justice, then we will not talk about ICC targeting Africa. And Africa continues to play a big role in ICC's work from the very beginning. Today, the largest bloc of states that have signed and ratified the Rome Statute is from Africa. Other situations have been under preliminary examination, which is a necessary step that we have to make before we open investigations. And if you look at examples like in Georgia, in Afghanistan, in Korea, these are all situations that are outside of Africa, which the ICC is looking at. But again, I just come back to the main story. Let us rethink about ICC's intervention, that it is about the victims of those crimes and not the perpetrators.
Thank you very much. It has been a really unique opportunity for the BBC Africa audience to have this direct line with the prosecutor of the ICC. So, Fatou Bensouda.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.